Hello everyone. Today we will start with the topic total quality management. So firstly we will start with the meaning. Total quality management. It consists of the three words. The first one is total, that is made up of whole. Second one is quality, that is degree of excellence of a product or a service. Third one is art, manner of handling and controlling and directing, etc. That is the management, how you handle the quality of the product. So in the simple word, it is an enhancement to the traditional way of doing the business. It is an art of managing the whole to achieve the excellence and philosophy and a set of guiding principles that represent the foundation of a continuously improving organization. So ultimate purpose of total quality management is customer satisfaction. The next one is definition. According to International Organization for Standardization, that is ISO, TQM is the management approach of an organization centered on quality based on the participation of all its members and aiming at long-term success through customer satisfaction and benefit to all the members of organization and to the society. So TQM is an organization that brings all the people together to ensure and improve product, process, quality and the work environment and the culture. Basically, TQM is a philosophy that helps the organization to continuously improve their operations. It tells us how to use the techniques in the best way, so the best product will be produced and the customer will be satisfied. Next, the elements of the TQM, it deals with the customer satisfaction, that is the primary purpose, management philosophy, employee empowerment, continuous improvement, communication, quality measurement, recognition and the benchmarking. TQM give importance to all these factors so they can achieve the best quality product and they can deliver the same to the customer at the right time, at the right place and in the right quality. We have the quality gurus. In the early 1950s, different persons came and they gave their approach with regard to the total quality management. In 1950, Walter A. Shewhart, the next one W.E.E. Edward, then Dr. Joseph gave the different quality approaches with regard to the quality management. If we will see a sum up, it basically start with the statistical analysis and the control technique, and the further when the American Society came up with the ASQ, they come up to reconstruct the Japanese economy. For this purpose, they welcome the Joseph M. Juran and W. Edward Deming for rebuilding the economy structure. In late 1970s and in early 1980s, the developed Western company faced the stiff competition from the Japan, and then they invite the total quality management as a practice to the whole organization. Now in the 21st century, in every organization, if they have to deal with the stiff competition, they have to practice the total quality management techniques. Further, in 1960 to 70, Armand and Feigenbaum, total quality control and quality cost and accountability techniques are given by them. Dr. Ishikawa gives the cause and effect diagram. Dr. Ginchi Taguchi gave the integrating quality control systems, system designs, parameter designs and the tolerance designs. In late 1970 to 80, Philip gives quality improvement process based on the 4 quality bases, that is the quality is conformance to the requirement, the system of quality is prevention, the performance standard is a zero defect, that is no defect in a any product in the Japan, if there will be any defect in any product, either it is a very minute, they will dispose the whole product and they will produce a new product in which there will be a no defect. The measurement steps of the quality in the price of the non-conformance. He gave the 14 steps to the quality improvement. The first one, management commitment, quality improvement team, quality measurement, cost of quality evaluation, quality awareness, corrective actions, zero defects program, supervisor team, zero defect day, goal setting, error cause removal, quality councils, do it all over again. Here all these functions are basically related to the best quality product. Their collective efforts, their quality awareness, their supervision training, zero defects days, goal settings, all these are basically motivated towards achieving the total quality management in the whole organization. The next, we have the different tools of the TQM. The first one is the control chart. Control chart consists of control charts for variable and control charts for attributes. Firstly, we will start with the control charts of variables, that is the mean chart. Second one is a range chart. Control charts for the attribute include E chart, C charts and the U charts. So mean chart, P chart, R chart, C chart, U chart basically helps to maintain the control over the variable and the attributes respectively. These control charts are given by the Dr. Walter. These control chart is a line graph used to display the variations on the time order interval. There are the basically two reasons of the variations. The first one is a chance factor and second one is a assignable variation. The control chart always has central line, upper line and the lower line. As you can see in the diagram, it has three lines: central line, upper line, lower line. Central line for average, upper line for the upper control limit and the lower line for the lower control limit. The comparison of the data with the upper limit and the lower limit indicates whether the data is consistent or out of order. In case data is falling out of the order and out of the boundaries, the necessary steps are required to be taken. Next one is histogram. A histogram displays the variations that is given by the Carl Pearson. With the process, it is also called a frequency distribution system because the frequency of occurrence of any given value is represented by the heights of the bars. Its main purpose is to identify whether the variable under the study follows the normal distribution or not, that is any presence of outliers or skewness. The next one is a checklist. So firstly, we will come to know about what is a checklist. A checklist is a simple document that is used for collecting the data in real time and at the location where the data is generated. It helps in ensuring that all the facts are taken into the consideration before taking any decisions. Checklist consists of further classification of checklist and defect location checklist. So firstly, we will see the classification checklist. Classification checklist is basically a chart, as you can see in the picture. Reasons are given, days are given, that is reasons, wrong number, info request, boss and all. The totals are given. These will help in deciding what kind of problems we are facing, what kind of mistakes we are doing, so we can further check on the same. The next one is defect location check sheet. Defect location check sheet shows the number of defects on a product. Here the areas are marked on the product where the most of the defects occur. As you can see in the picture, the shirts are given where the number of defects are occurring and the mark are placed on the same. The next one is a checklist. Checklist is important steps that shows what kind. It basically designed to identify the type of quality problems at each workstation per shift, per machine and per operator. So checklists are important to maintain. I can give you one very simple example. In a car service station, a checklist is attached to the vehicle. Whenever we go for the service station for service of our vehicle, we will see a checklist where they have marked either the oil is changed, tire pressure is seen, alignment is done, electric check is done. So it will help in controlling the work. Next one is Pareto chart. It is given by the Wilfredo Pareto. He was an Indian economist who conducted the study on wealth in 1900. He gave the principle of 80-20. He said 80% of the wealth is owned by a very few significant person and 20% is owned by the rest of the people. He also gave the further number of examples of the 80-20, that is 80% of the complaints arise from the 20% of your product and services. Further, we can say 80% of the delays in the schedules results from the 20% of the cause delays. It means if we will remove these 20% problems, then our number of delays, number of problems will be removed and we will get the significant results. Next is the cause and effect or the fishbone diagram, which is given by the Dr. Ishikawa and also known as a Ishikawa diagram. You can see diagram look like a fish skeleton in the head. In the diagram you can see the head represent the quality problems and the spine related to the this quality problem with the further problems. So we can say the cause and break them down into the sub parts and break them further into sub parts help in deciding what kind of problems they are facing. These are very useful because they help in deciding how you can handle with the problems. Next one is the flow chart. Flow chart help in easy representation of the situation. And these activities are presented by one or another step and one by one step, so you can understand it very easily. You can see in the diagram the passenger arrivals, tickets for the flight, excess carry on, all these are represented with the flow diagram. Those shows the different situations. Next one is the scatter diagram. Scatter diagram help in identifying the relationship between the two variables. The relationship can be strongly positive, moderate, no correlation maybe. It may be a negative, strong negative and curve linear relationship. So scatter diagram help in representing the relationship between the diagrams. Thank you.